Alright, y'all, welcome back to Final Boss Auto Hub, and I have a really interesting video for everybody. I wanted to bring back this segment that I did roughly 9 to 10 months ago. It was one of the bigger hits on the channel. Many people liked it, commented, sent me different messages about this video. So I kind of wanted to bring this segment back, especially now that I'm moving to a different area from where I normally live at. And the name of the segment is the top 10 vehicles you see in the hood, Bridgeport, Connecticut edition, right? And before I get into the number 10 position, I just want to preface this message in this video that these are jokes. Nothing more, nothing less, just jokes. I don't mean no harm or foul. I just want to have fun. I want to make some good content, and I hope nobody get offended. It's nothing crazy. It's just regular jokes. I'm going to put the first video that I did somewhere up here on one of these sides. And, you guys can view that video and then come back to me and tell me if I missed something, or if I should have had an honorable mention. But let's get into it. The top 10 cars you see in the hood, Bridgeport, Connecticut edition, right? So the number 10 position, you have the Honda CR-V. So the folks that you see driving this crossover vehicle, especially the later renditions of the vehicle, they act like I'm probably going to bleep that, but that's how they act, right? Like, you can't tell these folks anything. If you ask them, it's like they're basically driving that BMW X3, X4, and like they're just swerving on you. They're acting posh. They feel like they that person, they're that guy, or they're that woman, and you can't tell them anything, right? Kudos to Honda. I would definitely give Honda some credit. They definitely designed a decent looking crossover vehicle. It's a nice car or a truck or a crossover, however you want to pretty much identify the vehicle. But it's a nice crossover. Solid, great technology, decent interior. I'm going to put those pictures up. And something nice to be in. But you folks got to chill, right? You're not in a super luxury car. And I'm not hating on you. You worked hard for your money. That is your car. Nobody should be able or shouldn't say anything to you because that's your vehicle, right? But I have the Honda CR-V in the number 10 position. And let's keep going, right? In the number 9 position, I have the Hyundai Elantra. Now, if you look at the first video, I basically said something like this already. The Elantra is basically like the new Honda Civic, right? Back in the day, you was able to get a Honda Civic between 14 to 20 grand, depending how fully loaded you wanted, And right now, when you look at it, there are not too many cars that are MSRP in around 21K, right? That comes fully loaded like this Hyundai Elantra does. So it's no surprise to me that this car is very popular nowadays, especially during our current economic crisis. Like, this is a decent vehicle to get, decent interior. These little 4-cylinder turbo engines got a little bit of zip. They could move a little bit. It's not the super killer, but in terms of looks, but you have a nice vehicle that has updated technology that gets you from A to B. It's pretty reliable. I don't really hear too many issues in regards to reliability with this vehicle. And it's super cheap. Nothing crazy in terms of car note or car insurance. So, I don't blame folks who pretty much have this Hyundai Elantra. Go ahead, do your thing. But I definitely see this car very often in the Bridgeport area. I'm not going to lie. It's all over the place. So in the number 9 position, I have the Hyundai Elantra. Let's go look at it. And we're moving on, right? So in the number 8 position, I have the Nissan Sentra. Now, let's get into this. Like, Nissan really might be onto something when it comes to this vehicle. This vehicle, the way how it's designed, it looks like a baby Maxima with a cross of some Altima in it. They definitely made the vehicle a little bit more bigger. It's still in the economy kind of, or small sedan class, but they made it a little bit bigger to fit the new design. And I can see why people love the Sentra. The car is relatively cheap. It's a decent looker. I told you, it just looks like a baby Maxima. And it's not hard to park. It's not hard to maintain, or expensive to maintain, I should say. Yeah, I mean, you won't kill the parking lot in terms of, hey, look what I'm driving. I'm stunting on everybody. I'm killing them. But for a young dude making moves or having your own spot, or for a young lady making moves the same way, having her own spot, doing her thing or doing his thing, this is not a bad car to pull up in, and you should be respected if you got a nice little Nissan Sentra, and maybe you just got out of college and you finally got that new job and you're trying to build your way up. This is not bad for a decent starter car. You know what I mean? Relatively cheap in terms of car note, relatively cheap in terms of insurance. Why not, right? So in the number 8 position, I have the Nissan Sentra. I see this thing all around Bridgeport. I'm like, damn, they really love Nissans out here, right? But in the number 8 position, I got the Nissan Sentra. In the number 7 position, right, I got the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, the Grand Cherokee, I'm not gonna lie, is a respectable truck slash SUV. More like a truck, is in between. Say it's a truck. I definitely see it quite frequently around the Bridgeport area. It's definitely always there. It's one of the trucks that you see often, especially more of the later models, the 2020s, the 2024s, or the 21s, the 25s. You see them very often, you know. For those of you who's familiar with the state of Connecticut, it snows like crazy, right? And so having a truck that is basically 4x4 with a proven drivetrain and powertrain that can handle all kinds of weather, it's not a bad truck to pull up in, you know? Like, you can't beat it. Like, this truck is solid, it's a solid investment, without a doubt. You know, the only thing I would worry about with this truck is the Dodge's reliability. I had a Challenger, and trust me, you know, for the most part, the Dodge cars or trucks don't give too much problems until you start getting into the later mileages, like 80,000 and up. But that would be the only thing I'll be worried about with this truck. Otherwise than that, it's a decent looker. It has a pretty decent interior. I can't front you. If you fix up your Grand Cherokee and you keep it nice and clean, it's a looker. I mean, the fellas or the ladies can't say anything if you pull up in this, you know? It's a nice, decent looking truck to pull up in. You know, you can stun a little bit, but I definitely see the Grand Cherokee, you know, very often around in the Bridgeport area whenever I'm there. So I'll put this in the number 7 position. And let's keep it moving, right? Wow. And in the number 6 position, I have the Honda Accord. So you see this around Bridgeport like you see crackheads near the trap house. Like, Honda Accords are everywhere, whether it's 1999 to 2004 to the A7 looking version that they basically copied, all the way to this ugly hybrid version. You see Honda Accords all over the place in Bridgeport, right? To my Hispanic brothers and sisters, y'all gotta chill. Like, y'all be going crazy, pimping this car out. All kinds of hood scoops, fenders, the bum ass mufflers. Like, you guys be going crazy. And y'all also gotta chill when you're on the highway. I have a video I need to post at some point. Hopefully I didn't just delete it. But essentially, I'm on the highway and I'm basically racing the Honda Accord. Every time y'all guys see me on the highway, y'all just be trying to race me. You gotta chill. You gotta chill. First of all, I'm gonna smoke you. And you're not as crazy as me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But you guys be going crazy with the Honda Accords. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you know, although the newer rendition of the Accords to me are not the best looking Accords, you can't go wrong with the reliability. You can't go wrong with the cheap maintenance. You can't go wrong with the cheap insurance, you know? So it's a pretty good investment to have a Honda Accord. You can't beat it. And I have that in the number 7 position. Excuse me, number 6 position. All right, and in the number 5 position, I got the BMW 3 Series. I'm talking about the 330i, I'm talking about 328s, I'm talking about M3s, you know, depending on whichever model of M3 you want to think about is there. I see this all the time in the Bridgeport area. And to keep it real, I am 95% sure most of the people that are driving this car are Jamaican. And you ask me how I know? Because I'm Jamaican. And I literally see it all the time, right? Like, these folks be going crazy, man. Like, definitely blasting the loud music. you know, doing hard pulls out the parking lot, driving hella fast for no reason, cutting up, dipping in and out of traffic like madmen. Also, the vehicle's tuned so crazy that it's ready to blow up. Matter of fact, that sounds familiar. But yeah, you know, y'all gotta chill out. Bridgeport, y'all going crazy. But I definitely see the 3 Series all over the place in the Bridgeport area of Connecticut, right? So you can't go wrong with a BMW 3 Series, right? Solid car, solid luxury, depending on the model. Kind of don't matter. Most of them perform very well in terms of performance. Have zip, and it goes from having zip to fast to super duper fast, depending on which model you get. But the BMW 3 Series is a solid vehicle to have. I see it often in the Bridgeport, Connecticut area, and I have that in the number 5 position. All right, let's move on. Now, in the number 4 position, right, I have the Ford EcoVan. There is no way you can go into the Bridgeport area of Connecticut and not see these EcoVans pass you at least 5 to 10 times in a 5-minute span. 9 times out of 10, the folks that are driving this car do some sort of construction, handyman work. They fix something. You know what I mean? HVAC. They got all kinds of tools in those vans. And don't get it twisted. Just because you see them driving this Ford EcoVan, these folks are low-key balling. They got bread. Like doing construction, fixing up people's houses, doing handyman work. Those pay very well. Little demanding in terms of, you know, being physical when you have to do certain things. And a little time consuming. But they make so much money doing it. So most of the times they spend their days in these vans, but you don't know what else they're driving. This is just a work van for them, you know? They make so much money off their trade. I'm starting to think like I chose the wrong profession. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because these folks be going crazy. But you definitely see that same white Ford EcoVan all over the place in Bridgeport, just driving, going crazy. Some of them have designs on them, like promoting businesses. Some of them are blank. But 9 times out of 10, they do some sort of work like that. And I have that in the 4th position, the Ford EcoVan. All right. So now we're in the top 3 position. We're in the top 3, right? In the number 3 spot, I have the Chevrolet Silverado. I mean, I was recently in Bridgeport, and almost every other vehicle that passed by was this damn truck. Not gonna lie to you. Like, and let me remind you, these trucks are not cheap by any means, right? Like these trucks, I think these things MSRP around 55 to even 65, depending on how fully loaded you want, depending on the engine choice you want. It's just, these things are not the cheapest vehicle to buy, right? And 55 is just being the base model. That's like just nothing on it, just coming out. It's 55. Now, if you're more of a truck person, right, this is a nice vehicle to pretty much pull up in. Especially if you keep it clean, detailed, you will low-key like stun on some people. Like, especially if you're in the top of the line model. It's a nice looking truck. Chevrolet did their thing with this truck. There's not many things Chevrolet do right. It's either the Corvette or a truck, and there's a Silverado. And they do those 2 things right. So if you're in the market for a truck, or you want something to kind of stun on people, but also have some dual capabilities of carrying things, fridges, TVs, big stuff, look at a Silverado. You can't go wrong with that. And I got that in the number 3 position in Bridgeport. Cars that you see in the hood in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I got that in the number 3 position. So now, in the top 2 position, right? The number 2 car that you see in Bridgeport often is the Nissan Altima. And you know what we say about these cars. You have 2 set of people that pretty much drive these cars. You have the YNs that's normally on demon time and you're just basically trying to race or prevent you from getting into the lane. Or you got the young independent woman who's, who's about to go out and is about to get lit with all her friends, and she got a nice little Altima and probably driving a little reckless herself. You know what I mean? Might be under the influence a little bit, who knows? But, the Altima is just a demon vehicle. I don't know how we got here to have it in this position, but if it's not a Honda Accord, it's an Altima trying to race you or just somehow driving right past you. They're just ridiculously fast. Although for a 4-cylinder turbo, I don't know what Nissan got in those engines, but them cars are just dumb fast for no reason. But you see this in Bridgeport very often. Every other block you see an Altima, predominantly the newer renditions of the Altima. And you can't blame people. It's with cars coming in starting at around 50K, I believe. It's just, we just had a news outlet and study just came out that cars are averaging $50,000 in terms of MSRP in the United States. The Nissan Altima is fairly cheap. It's in the areas of the Sentra and the Elantra. They're probably like 35 grand or so. I got to do more research, but they're fairly cheap cars to purchase with decent performance. So I can see why it's always in the Bridgeport, Connecticut area, especially if folks are trying to save money and just have a decent vehicle to get them from A to B. So I got the Nissan Altima in the number 2 position. Now, in the number 1 position, I got the BMW 5 Series. And I'm talking about any version, 530, 528 to the 550 to the M5, right? There's 2 types of people that drive this car in Bridgeport, Connecticut. One, they might be Jamaican, or the other one is someone who just wanted to stunt on people that's driving something regular, and they got a little chips and they wanted something nice, right? And who could blame them, right? Who can really blame them? Like with the 5 Series, depending on the model that you get, like you could get something with luxury and prestige. You can get something with luxury but with nice power without going balls to the wall. Or you could just flat out get the monster and get the full out M5 and basically say F everyone, right? That class has something for everyone. Hence why you probably see it in Bridgeport very frequently. It has something for everyone, depending on the model that you choose of the M5, right? So people go crazy with those 5 Series. I mean, you really can't blame them. I feel like I would want something a little bit more nimble that I could throw around, but some people just like the bigger mid-size sedan car with power, and that's always been a staple in the car community, so I can see why. But in the number 1 position, I got the BMW 5 Series. You always see that in the hood, the Bridgeport, just driving around, tinted like crazy exhaust system, sounds good as hell, driving fast for no reason. But I got that in the number 1 position. All right. Now, there are certain vehicles that I didn't put on. I'll mention one right now, and this is an honorable mention. I have this one as the Jeep Wrangler. You see it kind of often. It makes sense in the Bridgeport area, especially during the wintertime. Once snow come down, people want to have something that can move in and out of the snow, and I can see why people have it. They do those hand signs that they have when they're driving by. You see it. It's crazy. But I see the Jeep Wrangler from time to time, kind of often in the Bridgeport area. And this is my top 10, right? The top 10 cars you see in the hood, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Message me, comment, subscribe, comment. Let me know if I missed a vehicle. I'm sure I have. This is just under my observation that I've seen when I'm in the Bridgeport area, and I see these cars pretty often driving around. But let me know if I missed something. I'm here for the debate, and I think that would be a cool debate to have, right? So I have more videos coming. I want to thank everybody that's tuning into the channel. The channel is basically steadily growing, and I'm happy and proud of that, putting some work in. And we got more videos coming, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let me know what y'all think. Top 10 cars you see in the hood, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Holla at me. Final Boss Auto Hub out.